criminal justice, healing, education. Let's awaken the people. Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are currently watching. You guys should know me by now, but if you are new here, my name is Holly Sisa. I'm the founder of this lovely program called Morning Mimosas. And for those of you that don't know, Morning Mimosas values criminal justice, healing, and educating for the Black and minority communities with a note that we love everybody. Guys, so before we get started, you guys know me. I like to do a few housekeeping tools. So here is a message from two of Morning Mimosas partners.
Jeanette Sayers here from Immuna Soaps and Essentials. Just wanted to send out a reminder for all of you Morning Mimosa community members. If you go to my website and use promo code MM23, you will get a percentage off of your entire order. And my website is www.emunahsoaps.com. God bless.
Hey y'all, it's Auntie Harley, CEO, founder, and owner, lots of hats, of Goodell's Crafts. Speaking of hats, our signature product, the Flower Crown, can be found right at our Instagram page, Goodell's Crafts. But that's not even why we're here. I'm here today, number one, to give a shameless plug for these do-rags, because y'all been eating these up, okay? And number two, I'm giving another shameless plug. If you mention the amazing podcast, Morning Mimosas, shout out to the beautiful host, Holly, at your checkout, you get $10 off your full order. And we make some of everything, baby, not just do-rags and hats. So definitely come see us over at Goodell's Crafts. If we haven't made it already, if you send us an idea, we could probably make it for you. We adore you. We love you. From our family to yours, get you something handmade.
Guys, that was a lovely commercial from two of our amazing partners, Imuna Soaps and Essentials, and also Goodell's Crafts. Guys, please, please, please go shop with both of those lovely businesses today. Guys, today we have an amazing guest. I was so grateful to find her. You guys know me. I made a Facebook post looking for, a minority nurse, even though you guys know me, minority to me is majority, but we consider the minority or whatever. Don't quite understand that. Whatever. But found this amazing nurse, and today we're going to talk about what she's currently doing as far as her nursing career and her current business, and then of course the topic of stress management. But of course, we're not going to bring her on without doing a proper welcome, right? Hello. It is Nurse Makeda, guys. Welcome to Morning Mimosas.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I am so happy to be here.
And I'm really, really happy to have her on here too, guys. We've had some amazing conversations, and she is the shiznai, okay?
Thank you,
Guys,
girls. For you.
So, guys, you guys know this is Nurse Makeda. But I'm gonna let her do the talking. You guys know how we do here at Morning Mimosas. Nurse Makeda, you have the floor. Tell the people about yourself, what you're doing, and then we're gonna get the ball rolling.
All right. Awesome. So my name is Makeda. I am a registered nurse. I am also a women's health expert, a certified body contour specialist. I am an educator, a business owner, and I am most importantly a mother of a 9-year-old son. Um, so many hats that I wear, and I have so many things that I have going on. I do have a business called Nubian Resilience Body Studio. I offer non-invasive body concert. Excuse me, I can't talk this morning. Body contouring services. So for those who are interested in, not necessarily getting surgery, but want to contour, shape their body, lose some weight, those are the services that I offer to my clients. I have kind of transitioned into a more healthier and wellness journey, just for myself. And my own personal reasons with my own personal health and things like that. So I want to offer more intense health and wellness teaching and program into my not alone body contouring services so that I can assist not only, on the outside, but internally as well. So those are some of the things that I've been working on. I have a weight loss program that I will be launching moments probably in about a month or so. And so we get intense here because myself, I struggled with weight probably my whole entire adulthood because I was not educated. And so I do not want my ladies and my men to really be, unaware of the things that they have going on and why they are gaining weight or not able to lose weight. So that's my mission. That's what I'm working on right now.
That is absolutely awesome. So if you're in New York, correct?
Yes, up I'm in Western New York, Buffalo.
So if you guys are in that area, please, please, please check her out on Facebook and get her services done, guys. All that stuff is very, very important. Weight loss, and it also ties into what we're talking about today, which would be stress management.
Yes, yes,
Um, so we're gonna actually get straight into the stress management part of the episode because you gracefully told us about your amazing business, and I hope that people in Buffalo, New York, who are watching or who fly to New York will go ahead and bless your services. But stress management. So you are a registered nurse. So you obviously you had that stress of being a registered nurse, and obviously the stress of just being a woman, a mother, a businesswoman. So I don't even know where we start with that because that's so many things to dissect, right?
yes, yes.
So where do you want to begin as far as like stress management? Do we want to start from like the human aspect, the working aspect? Where do we start?
Um, we can start from the human aspect and then we can kind of go into the working aspect. I feel like they all kind of tie in together. Just because, life has its centerfold of things that it has with everything. So, I won't say, to you that I don't get overwhelmed or things don't kind of, get to a point where like, oh, I can't do this sometimes in your mind. But what I have learned over the years of being a nurse, being able to juggle the things that I juggle, along with dealing with life things, lives, the last 2 years. Listen, I can't even tell you. I'm just getting to a point where I'm so comfortable with sharing my personal story about the things that I went through the last couple of years, because I had to prioritize myself into getting to where I am today, and I'm still a work in progress. And the reason why I say that is because, you know, listen, being a nurse, a mother, a business owner is not for the weak, okay? And I do so many different things. I even have to sit back and be like, wait a minute, how can I even do all of this? One of the number one things that I can say is I believe in God, and God is the end all be all to every problem that I had in my life,
Amen.
and is the one who really is there. So
Amen.
sometimes I'd be like, wait, wait, I did this? God, okay.
Amen.
But back to like just the human part of it. One day I just really had to sit down and be like, who is my priority, basically? I'm this for this person, I'm that for that person, but who am I for me? And so I had to prioritize what was more important. And sometimes you have to be selfish.
Yeah.
And it's not in a manner of, forget everybody and I don't have to worry about what this person is doing or that person is doing. But you have to prioritize yourself in order to be, a vessel or an inspiration or anybody for somebody else
Yep.
or something. So those are the things that I really had to sit down and think about and say, what is important to me? I want to be here for my child. I want to be able to, pursue and flourish my business. I want to be able to be productive in my work. And I also, want to have a life, to live, because life is supposed to be lived, right? I don't know. Is that okay? Because
Yeah, absolutely. Mhm.
some people really don't understand that. They don't dig deep in the dynamic of life is supposed to be lived. You are supposed to live your life not in misery, not in sadness. You're supposed to have a happy and fulfilling life. And the sad thing about it is that people really don't believe that. And it's because stress has overcame so many people's mental that people don't really understand or think that they can be happy.
Yeah, that's true. This is true.
So I personally have done things that was just specifically to me. You know, if I'm stressed, I get a massage. I make sure. I fell off a little bit a couple of years ago just during the pandemic and working crazy. But when I had the opportunity to make sure that I was able to get a massage, I was able to get a facial, I make sure I do my mani, my pedi. I make sure that, I go and get nice clothes. Something that's going to make me feel good and look good. Those are the things that I made sure are a priority no matter what. And then just learning how to take a break and a breather and saying no. I think saying no was a huge challenge for me because I put myself in position to be like, I don't want this person to get upset with me, or I don't want this, I don't want my job to be, like, oh no, she didn't pick up extra this week or she didn't do this. And I'm so tired that I'm depleting myself and pulling and pulling and pulling. And, you know, they say you can't pour from an empty cup.
That's true.
And that's where I think the stress sometimes overwhelms people to where they don't even recognize it and they can't identify what it is. And so, and I also feel like, and I don't know if I speak for you, but I know for me, being an African American woman, also being a professional, a nurse, educated, and the list goes on. But you really get to a point where you kind of feel guilty because if you have kids or if your money isn't where you want it to be, you kind of feel like, well, I shouldn't spend this on me to do A, B, and C.
Yep.
And so you kind of get into that guilt factor of, well, I'll just, put that aside. But then you don't realize that you're spending $40, $50 or more on food that is killing you internally or causing you to be sick or causing you to have this increased tiredness or this increased just moodiness, like you're just in a crabby mood all the time. Some of the things that I've experienced in my own personal health journey has really gave me insight on why food was causing so much issues. The kind of foods that I was choosing was causing me to have more issues than what I originally thought I had. Because, some people are emotional eaters.
Yeah.
It kind of just depends on the situation. Me, I don't feel like I'm an emotional eater. Sometimes if I'm really, down in the dumps and I'm really upset, I may not eat. But I was diagnosed with PCOS when I was like 21, 22, and that's polycystic ovarian syndrome. And I had did a live a couple of days ago on my personal page, and that was the first time that I ever shared and got into depth about my whole journey, because it was a lot of things that I was experiencing that I really didn't understand because I wasn't educated. I simply went to my OBGYN because of some of the things that I was experiencing with, my periods weren't coming regularly like they used to, and nobody knew what to do. And then they sent me to a fertility specialist. I got an ultrasound. The ultrasound said, oh, you have cysts on your ovaries. Okay, what does that mean? Oh, you have PCOS. Well, what is that? Polycystic ovarian syndrome. Okay, like what is that? What is that? Oh, is you have cysts on your ovaries. That means you are suffering from infertility. So if you ever want to have a child, you have to get on fertility medication. Okay, well, is there anything that I could do to help? Oh, well, you're also overweight, so you need to lose weight. Okay, how do I do that? Oh, you got to diet and exercise. Okay, simple. So I really went through my whole 20s and just had this thought that I wouldn't be able to have children unless I was, going on medication. I had to diet and exercise. So during that time period, diet and exercise was anything that wasn't, you know, a burger and fries, and exercising to me was getting on the treadmill and walking for 30, 40 minutes straight, just because that's the ideal.
Right.
No specifics was done. Nothing was discussed. So I say all of that to say is that stress is one of the main factors that kind of exacerbates the PCOS, especially if you are eating foods that cause a lot of inflammation. If you're eating a lot of carbs, if you're eating a lot of sugar, those are all tying into what stress enhancing the stress even more. And if you don't know and you got all of this other stuff going on in life, you don't know that, hey, this is what's going on. I got this and this, and then you never realize it all stemmed down to your food. So I tell people now that you have to prioritize yourself, from a personal experience, a professional experience. um, it's just the way the body works. Like the body is like a machine, and if it's off, it's so easy to just break down. And the people don't have the realization that they really should avoid the things that they're avoiding. You know, I talk about the toxicity of relationships. It doesn't have to be just a romantic relationship, a toxicity relationship between friends, family, anybody.
Yep.
All of those are triggers for stress. Growing up in a home where it was not it was toxic. I'll be honest, it was a toxic environment. I was not able to identify those triggers and those stressors until, as of now, I'm about to be 39 next month, and I'm really just had to sit down and really prioritize and be like, I don't want to deal with that today, and I don't have to. But it does take experiences in some cases for people to understand and to realize that they're stressed, or they want to overcome the stress but they don't know how to. So therapy, I recommend therapy, counseling, or whatever you choose, even if you just choose to have a prayer room and just pray to God, however you seem fit. But I would suggest that you really have to take the time to really analyze your situation and look at things and really understand what you're feeling and if you want to continue to feel that way.
Wow, you have said a lot of things that relate to me. I just have to go ahead and just play back real quick. I was also diagnosed with PCOS, also in my early 20s.
Wow.
Um, and after losing my daughter in 2008 and then in 2014, hearing that, I was like, okay, so I heard the doctor tell me, okay, I'm not going to have kids. Um, and then I was diagnosed with diabetes after that. So yeah, all of that correlates. Like you've got to watch what you're eating. You've got to take care of your mental health too. Like people seem to forget like mental health is like a big thing because people think it's just, oh, I'm just sad today. I'm like,
Right, right.
okay, you're just sad today. Okay, how did you feel yesterday? Oh, I was really depressed. Or it, people just need to be aware of all aspects of their
Right,
health because it
right.
does play a role in stress. So I'm so thankful that you were able to tell us that story because I can definitely relate. I have two kids now, but yeah, that
Look at how God brings people together. Like that is just, I didn't know that. So that's that is very, yeah, that got me off a little bit because I'm like, wow. Like, wow, technology has its benefits for sure.
It sure
But
does.
that is definitely something that I didn't know. And it also proves that we are two women who were told similar things. And I had my son naturally.
Me
I did
too.
not use fertility medication whatsoever. I just lost weight. And I got pregnant unexpectedly because I was thinking I couldn't get pregnant. And I had a couple of miscarriage. Well, no, I had a miscarriage before. And, so that kind of like put me in this thought that, back to the depression, back to the I'm not going to be a mother. And so I kind of just strayed away from it, and I didn't want anything to do with it because, that's just what it was. And when I started losing weight, um oh, I also forgot I got my thyroid removed too my last year of nursing school. So I also had that. I was told I had PCOS first, and then tying into the stress of just school and things like that, I had no idea that I was struggling with thyroid and issues too. So I had hypothyroidism, didn't know. Went to the doctor because I had a huge sinus headache, and the doctor basically said, you have your thyroid is enlarged, I wanted to get you tested. And I said, okay. And I went to get the whole spiel of tests and biopsies, and a biopsy. And when I tell you, that biopsy was not that was the most uncomfortable thing ever, when they stick like needles in your neck and get samples. I was like, oh, that's not fun at all. So when it came back, he said that it was a cancerous nodule that he wanted to get removed. So I had to get it removed. During the process of my surgery, they decided to remove the whole thing because he didn't want it to spread to the other side. Now, one of the things he said about thyroid cancer, it is slow to kind of move, but it was urgent enough where he was like, 30 days, I want to get this in and out, so that you don't have any risk of it spreading to other tissues. And I said, okay. So I got it done in '09, so a month after I graduated. So not only was I dealing with PCOS, but I was also dealing with managing my thyroid hormones, getting my thyroid removed. And, I'm still on medication for the rest of my life. However, it is so much more managed now, to where I was looking back like, oh, it's not my thyroid hormones anymore, it's the PCOS. And nobody ties into that. When I go see my primary doctor, we don't talk about that. They know about my history with the thyroid, so that's what we talked about. So I had to take a step back and be like, you know what? Why am I having so much inflammation? You know, and I was honest with my endocrinologist, and I said, you know what? I do work a lot. I do a lot. I do a lot. And he was like, well, how is your eating? I said, well, I mean, I don't eat horrible. But then it tied down to, well, what's horrible? You know? So it got down to where I'm like, okay, I have to be accountable. Like, yes, I have these things, and those things don't define me, but I also have to be mindful of those foods that are causing more issues than I need right now. And so, yes, I love this food, but I love me more. So when you have that mindset and you have that control, it really does help. I mean, we're all human. We all go through emotional things. I live in Buffalo, so depression is real because our vitamin D deficiency is so prevalent in our area, that people don't even realize. That's why a lot of people are so crabby, because their vitamin D levels are so low, and they're functioning but barely. And so they most likely are not eating healthier. They're most likely not paying attention to, how they're feeling while they're eating. They're excessively drinking, which causes it even more of an issue. They're smoking and partying or whatever else they're doing. So all of these things, people don't understand the power of the environment. The power of the environment, I joked around the other day because when the eclipse came, I was like, I really had a headache for 2 days straight. I kid you not, pounding literally on my right side. I could not get it, would not go away. Literally after the eclipse passed, my head was fine. It went away. So that goes to show you how powerful the environment is, how it affects us,
Yeah.
and how we need to pay attention to what is going on in the world as to why we are feeling the way we're feeling. And I think that if we kind of take a closer look to that and really figure out, hey, well, I feel like this when this happened, you know, then I think things would be a little bit easier with people being able to manage their stress better.
I absolutely agree. Hey guys, so if you are currently joining Morning Mimosas, we have Nurse Makeda of Buffalo, New York here. She's not only a nurse, she is multifaceted. Let me put some respect on her really quick. Bam. But today's subject, we are talking about stress management, and she's talking about the stresses that she's had to endure and how she's had to come to the realization that, hey, I have to manage it this way, and this way. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure that people were aware of what's currently going on since they're currently joining us. But back to the episode at hand. Stress management is, I mean, it is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm currently, so I'm in school. I work. I have a 3-year old and a 4-year old. I have this amazing platform that I do for you guys every Saturday, and then of course everything else. And then I'm becoming a detective on top of that. So it is a lot to cope with, especially when, and I mean this from love. Like I reach out to a lot of cold case family, like cold case and missing person families, and that takes a toll on me, not in like a bad way, but it's like I want to do something for them so bad that I get really, really stressed. Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, damn, like these police precincts that I reach out to, they can't give me no information, or they lie to me and say they can't do anything. Or if I reach out to a detective that's specifically on that case, they're like, oh, I can't do this for you. I can't do this for you. I can only tell you this much information. It's so stressful when you're trying to seek justice and healing and making sure that you're educating. So my question to you is, what advice would you give someone like me who is a war, first and foremost, a warrior? Is that how you say that? Warrior, war,
Mm-hmm.
something like
Yeah.
that. And someone who is overstressed because she wants things to change so bad, but it's gonna take time for it to do so. So
Right. Wow. I'm just taking it in because we are so similar in so many ways. Because those are the things that I definitely took on from myself. Working with people, wanting to help these families, wanting to just pour into them so badly that they don't even understand, and it frustrates you because you don't see how bad I want to help you. One of the things that I will suggest and recommend is that you can only do what you can do. And the reason why I say that is because prior to me working in a hospital, I used to work in a nonprofit organization where I worked with a lot of low income families, a lot of pregnant moms, single moms, and I had this one special lady. And it's so funny that you brought that up because she was she was very challenging, but she was my favorite because I wanted to help her so bad. And she just had a lot going on, just a lot of misguidance, just a lot of stuff. And I used to come back to work and I used to be so full of just stress. Like you could feel it. You feel the stress in your head and you can feel it where it's just like, oh my God, like why don't she understand that this is like gonna tear her down? But as I grew with her, I had her for about I think about 2 or 3 years before I left the agency that I was working for. And I saw her later. I actually saw her around, I think it was about Thanksgiving time in the store. And she's like, "You've helped me so much." She was like, I, I'm doing better. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And I told her, I said, yeah, because you didn't listen. I said, you didn't listen to me one bit. But I had to let her get to a point where she was understanding that this is not the way to go. This is not the life that you should live. Um, I can only do so much to help you, but you have to learn how to help yourself. And sometimes in the professions that we are in, we tend to be that overseer where we see the good in that person, but that person or people, and they don't see it, and we tend to take upon their stress and put it on us, and then we're stressing and worrying about what's going on, like, oh my god, are they going to do this, or are they going to do that, are they going to listen? um and what I would suggest is you have to do whatever you can do, and you have to, like they say, as moms, we know we want to protect, we want to help, we want to nurture,
Yeah.
but sometimes we have to take that hand off, and we kind of got to let it flow and pray that it's going to work out for the best. Because when you consume that and you take upon that on your own, like your that stress on you along with your own personal stressors, then you're kind of like piling on yourself. And you tend to get emotional. And I can say I have done so much work internally on how to process my emotions. I ain't perfect. Sometimes I get, but what I can say is that I'm so much more calmer than I used to be. I do not let people really get me to a point where I have to fuss and fight and argue, scream and yell. It'd be like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, if you knew the things that I used to do and say because I was upset or I didn't felt like that person should hear me out.
Yeah.
Where they don't have to. And it's okay if they don't. Because you know what you're doing and how you're doing it is a positive way. If you made a huge impact on somebody, it will come back. Because I've worried so many times, like, am I saying the right things? Am I doing the right things? Or maybe if I did this, then this will work. And you cannot do that because it's all going to work out. I had no idea that I was going to see her in the store. I had no idea that she even was following me still on Facebook, and saw the things that I was doing. So you never know who's really looking up to you, who's really watching you. And I had to like look back as well because a lot of stuff I was doing, I didn't think people cared. I didn't think people wanted to know. I didn't think people was really supporting me like I was supporting them. And sometimes people move in silence because they either don't know what to say, they don't know if, if there's their place. So you never know what people really feel or think unless they actually say it to you.
That's true.
So I say all of that to say is that, you have so many things that you're doing, and you have to understand that it is not your way. It's not your way. You want what you want, and I commend you because I want it too. But we also have to let people be who people are going to be. And it's hard because we're humans, and we're women, and we're mothers, and we're lovers, and we want to show and spread love to everybody and want this big old happy place to be. But we have to understand that that's not how it's going to work in some cases. And so we have to be okay with not stressing ourselves out because it doesn't work out in the way that we want it to work out. Does that answer your question?
It answers it to the T.
Keep doing what you're doing. Keep shining. Keep showing people. Keep showing up. Um, and the best thing I say, it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. There's a purpose for what you're doing. There's a reason for what you're doing. For both of us, I could say, because I didn't understand my purpose either. I knew I wanted to help people. That's why I became a nurse, but I really didn't really understand until now as I'm going through my own personal journey that you never know. People suffer inside and don't know how to get to the next level and they see somebody of like us, and they're like, wait, that person looks like me, or she's doing things that I've been trying to do. Oh, she made it, I can make it too. But you don't know that because they don't say it, because they're either afraid, they're ashamed. I didn't really talk about what I've been through because I kind of was up in the air, like, am I embarrassed, am I ashamed, am I, is people really going to care? Those are all of the things that came through my mind when I even first thought about it. But now that I'm on this path of speaking, I'm on this path of educating, I'm on this path of really just learning myself and getting to know me. This is something that needs to be said. People need to understand because people are suffering in silence. So I hope that helped.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just want to say thank you so much for the advice you've just given me. And thank you for everything that you have stated today on Morning Mimosas. I know that it has impacted somebody today. So, actually, Nurse Makita, we're going to get out of here. But before we go, do you have any final words about stress management or actually anything, because this is Morning Mimosas. We value human life. So, do you have anything to just help a fellow human today? Other
Yes.
than all the great things that you said earlier.
I just say, live life to the fullest, enjoy your life. Don't feel guilty. And just keep going. That's the only thing that I could really say. Just keep going. I love what you're doing. Thank you again for having me. And I just appreciate just being here today to be able to shed some light on you. And I hope that, something that I said really impacts somebody today.
It has me, and that's the starting point. As long as it impacts me, I know it'll impact all of the Morning Mimosa viewers and the community. But
Awesome.
as you guys know, y'all, Morning Mimosa values human life, criminal justice, healing, and education for the Black and minority communities. I'd like to thank Nurse Makita once again for coming on Morning Mimosas.
Thank
As you guys know, she will be back on April 27th as our expert guest, as we will have a small panel of people talking about stress management. As you guys know, April is Stress Awareness Month. So we just want to keep the theme going, keep you guys empowered. We're here to elevate, but we'll see you guys next Saturday. Until next time, we'll see you guys later.
Bye bye.